So that'll take us on to Birds of Prey Manhunt issue 2. This is the 4-issue miniseries early on in this run. We just introduced Catwoman at the end of the last issue, and to be fair, it turned out Catwoman didn't date the bad guy, so at least that's, slightly, alleviated my complaint. Although the main part of my complaint was mainly how out of character Huntress was, but still, it's nice that not all three of them had dated.
Yeah, it was a concern at the end that, oh my god, not again, but yeah. It wasn't. So it's better in that case.
Yeah, no, I think this is a better issue overall. I do think it's maybe a bit more dialogue heavy, which hurts it a little bit in places. But
that's interesting. I did not think this was a better issue at all. I thought this was a lot less interesting.
Well, I thought it got interesting as it went on, because I think once Dinah chooses to turn off her comms, right, or at least take out her thing so she can't hear Babs. Babs can still kind of hear what's going on, but she can't hear Babs. And once that happens, I was kind of, because it becomes this kind of car thing where they're in the car together, they're chasing after him, the police are chasing after them. Babs is yelling to Dinah to not trust these two, like, don't go with Catwoman, it's a crazy idea. I did kind of, Canary jumps onto the car, ends up in the plane, so she's kind of like almost not kidnapped, she kind of gets herself into this bother, but she ends up in the plane with them. And Batman's actually kind of there, the Batmobile's are around. And I did kind of like the interaction between Oracle and Batman here, where she's like, hey, I had an operative out there, you didn't happen to see anyone else, did you? And he's like, nah.
Just a burning car.
Yeah. And so it does slow down a little bit, when Huntress and Catwoman are alone and they end up going after the mansion and dealing with the dogs together. Like that stuff does kind of slow it down a little bit. But I did kind of like the bonding a touch, and I liked Canary kind of trying to talk to Oracle, even though she can't hear her. She's like, I hope you're listening, and just kind of saying stuff anyway, just to sort of set up a predicament. I thought something was going to happen here from memory, because I'd read this before, and I don't know if it's something that's going to happen later, or if I'm just misremembering that it happens at all. But
do you want to share, or
I won't, just for the sake of spoilers, just in case it actually does happen, like next issue.
Okay.
But I got excited about it though, so I hope it does happen next issue, because
otherwise you've just imagined something.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal. I mean, I say I'm excited, I just mean I like the story beat is all I'm saying, like, from memory. But yeah, it ends with so the bad dude, whose name I can't remember, he's in a plane going somewhere with Dinah, sort of trapped on board, and Huntress and Catwoman are dealing with, who is it they're dealing with again? Let me go back and check.
I'm not sure. I remember them distracting the dogs.
Yeah. Right, yeah, so got something about Bristol, 100 acres, blah, blah, blah. His tax return says... so this is some guy who's been working with... he's been doing all the money laundering for the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's what they're after. I just couldn't remember, because like I say, we were meant to record this 2 days ago, and so I'd read all my books 2 days ago.
Yeah. I think, for me, I don't think Catwoman's a great fit in this book. I think that's what drags it down for me, the balance.
That's
I think
fair.
Huntress, because we've already got Huntress as kind of the wild card in this story, right?
Yeah.
Babs and Dinah are, they're pretty straight, and then and Dinah's not entirely, she's like, oh yeah, I'll use guns, whatever, but she won't kill anyone. Huntress is kind of that wild card already, where, oh, who knows, can we really trust her? And we played a lot of that last issue, and then Catwoman's just kind of more of the same. It kind of feels a bit redundant. It just makes Dinah feel a bit outnumbered, but not in an interesting way.
I thought it was a bit more wordy. I thought it overall flowed a bit better though, because last issue... Well, that's not true. The last issue did flow quite well, because it kind of it did the thing with both ends of the tower, and then the meeting in the middle kind of thing. So that was good. It was the flashbacks that slowed it down last issue. So there was a pacing issue, but it wasn't with the main fight and stuff. This issue, I think, flowed overall better because it didn't have the flashbacks explaining the backstories.
Yeah.
So I was okay with that. I don't think it's a great issue though. I think it's got some banter that I like. Again, it's got some fun moments. Them driving the car over the fence early on, and just the general lack of caring about their well-being and just being willy-nilly action heroes early on. I feel like it fit the kind of the free spirit of the the whole
Yeah, I think the
affair.
action looks really good, and it's just a lot of fun. You know, like Dinah jumping the cars and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is some solid stuff in this, but like I say, I think it is just we're introducing this team. So we had we had Dinah and Babs before, and then okay, this is the next stage, and we introduce Huntress, and we'll throw that in there and see how she bounces off. And we haven't really explored that enough yet, and we're just okay, Catwoman now, and it distracted from it for me. I think I don't think the balance is quite right, and just led to me not enjoying the issue as much, even though technically it's not like a bad issue.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, it's interesting you're saying that Catwoman doesn't quite fit the team, but Huntress does, because obviously later, eventually, Huntress is going to be a main part of the team.
I think what I will say is I think you could have had Catwoman instead of Huntress. I think just more right now in this kind of infancy of forming this idea of a team, the balance just isn't right by having both of that type of character there to even out essentially. You know, Babs and Dinah. I think just one of them would have worked better.
Interesting. All right, we give it then.
I'm going to give it a 6. I really like the art, which does bump it up a notch.
Yeah, I'm conflicted because I feel like I want to say 6.5 because you said 6, because I feel like I'm a bit more positive, but at the same time,
But you don't actually feel a 6.5.
Well, no, I think. Well, no, because I feel like I'm a full point above you, but if I go a full point above, then it's a 7, which is equal to my Batman and Wonder Woman scores, but I don't necessarily think it's as good as those. So I think.
Do you want me to go back down to 5.5 to make you feel better?
I feel like I'm forced into a 6.5 because of that feeling. So I'll say 6.5, even though I feel like I'm a bigger gap between me and you, but that's whatever.